Indoor cycling, Zwift, racing, parenting. We cover those and all of our hopes and dreams in between. Welcome to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast, an entertaining look into the lives of everyday people trying to achieve virtual cycling glory from our basements and garages from around the world. This podcast is rooted in Zwift and has evolved into found friendships, fitness, health, and a little sprinkle of humor. This may be one of the only podcasts where a little heavy breathing shouldn't scare you away, because we're riding our bikes while we're recording it.
That's now stuck in your heads. You're welcome. Hey, everybody. Oh, look at the timing. Look at the timing. We literally just hit record, Sully.
Perfect.
It is perfect.
I was going to say, well, I was waiting for Sully to get in and say, hey, you said it's going to start at 6:20. It doesn't start at 6:20. What are we doing?
It's like Ozzy Man's Destination Perfect for Sully. Well, we are back from a summer hiatus that was fulfilling, fun, and some other F word that I can think of but won't say. We are graced with the presence of, some may call him the DIRTFather, others maybe a cobra. Regardless, he goes by one name, much like Cher. Ladies and gentlemen, Cerny. What's up, dude?
Hey. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Do you like that I compared you to Cher right away?
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, if we could all turn back time, right?
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
It's too early for this, Todd.
I might have woken up at 4:15 thinking about what I was going to say for the intro, and this is the best I came up with, so you're welcome.
All right.
So, Jason Stern, a.k.a. Cerny, the man we know well to be a draft king, both of the football variety and in racing, right? Right, Drew?
The auto draft king, who I think he's playing right now in our fantasy league.
Auto draft.
Unbelievable.
Cerny, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, man? For those that don't already know the legend.
I guess my real name is Jason Stern. Started Zwift in 2017. Started Dirt in 2018. And since then, it's just been a wild ride for the past 4 years of having fun, meeting new people all over the world. Nothing but good times and happiness on the platform.
True that.
So awesome.
So positive. I will say, before we get too deep into stuff, I've had many a times where I'm racing with Cerny, poorly, strike that, and he is mid-climb himself and typing words of encouragement like, keep going, man, you got this. And I'm just like, no, I don't. And then I'm off the back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some positivity. People. You like surprising people?
Yeah, with these private messages in the worst part of the game.
It works. It's very
like, how are you texting me right now?
Yeah. We're dying at 6 watts per kilo up Titan's KOM, but yet he texts. So, as you alluded to, yes, you started this little crazy, what's a good word to describe it, Greg?
Ball
menagerie?
Of chaos? Sure, menagerie.
Menagerie. That is dirt. Like he goes chaos, I say menagerie. Like I'm fancy. But tell us a little bit about the early days of like what started it as far as what were your goals in it, how that kind of came about, if you can remember that far back.
Yeah, I know. It's been so long now. But when we were first riding, there were not many people riding at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. So,
4 a.m.
You know, it was the same. Myself, Doug, and Ken would just be at every race. There was only 2 races a week, and we would all be in the C races together. So it just so happened that we started reaching out to each other. There were not many teams back then. You know, you had to be part of one or the other team, and all the teams were for the best A riders or the best riders, and there was really no team for the middle of the pack guys. So, there was always these D teams and there was always the A plus teams, but there was never anyone else for the guys in the middle who still tried really hard. So we were like the tryhards, but we were just never going to have those 5+ FTPs.
Or so you thought.
Yeah. So we just kind of started riding together. Ken came up with this name and we ran with it. And I think like our vibes, and we just started attracting more and more people, and it's been growing nonstop ever since.
Yeah, that's funny too, because you always say, well, I guess the birds of a feather flock together, but the mindset of a lot of people in dirt, regardless of whatever faction they align with, is usually that they're there to have fun, push your other people to do better, and it's a great thing to have.
Yeah, we're up at 5 a.m. We're gonna bust our asses as hard as we can. But at the end of the day, if we can't ride because our kids are up at night or because we work all day, it happens. So I think that was sort of the mantra behind the name.
I couldn't imagine any other, name for the team now.
Yeah. It's weird. I was like in a diner, like penciling out acronyms, like what can we name this team? Like writing down letters of the alphabet and all these things.
The first time I saw dirt on a tag, I was early on to Zwift, and I was like, there was a dirt magazine, which is like a mountain bike magazine.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody's child was loose.
That's mine.
That's Michael. I thought it was like an official dirt magazine rider, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I learned it was just fellow dad like myself.
Yeah.
I was like,
after I'd been riding for a couple months, and I wanted to do races and such, I started looking at events and teams. I was like reading all the descriptions like the teams have under their events for who they are and what they are. And I saw dirt, and I was like, I'm not that good off road. This isn't me. And then I clicked on it, and I read the description. I was like, oh, well, this is the one. Like, here it is. I'm not a herd.
Out.
I'm not a, who else was there at the time?
Z-Son,
Yeah, I'm not a Z-Son. Like, yep, dad on a trainer. That's why I'm doing this. I think a lot of people fall into it that way.
Yeah.
It's a perfect name.
Now, were you into cycling before you joined Zwift, or is that kind of just like a happy accident?
Yeah, so in college, I did triathlons. And then, once I graduated college, I stopped doing everything and, got a real job, had kids, got married, went through the full depression, full gained 25 pounds, hated my life, all that stuff. And then I just happened to fall upon Zwift, and, that's when I got myself back and I started riding, losing the weight, getting the mental health back. And it was just, I wanted to share that message with everyone, how it turned my life around. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So I guess I have a cycling background as a kid, but really I didn't ride or do any exercise for about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
A whole decade, huh? Do you ever think back and are like, if only I had that decade worth of training, where would I be now?
I don't
I'm
know.
not 5 FTP.
I feel like it defined me and made me grateful for what I have now. Like to be healthy, to be fit, to be happy, to be a good father, and all those sorts of things. Like I could never do that if I didn't have that dark period.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
that's a great perspective too.
Yeah, I was 100% agree. I think a lot of people get wrapped up in the inevitable competition that is Zwift. And something that I've come to grips with recently is like, as a mid-pack B, you get your moments where you're like, yes, that was great. But most of the time you're, riding that mediocrity train, right?
Right.
But if you change it to, even if I get dropped, at least I still got some exercise in. Like, I'm going to be more healthy today than I was yesterday, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole picture.
people do get too wrapped up in the competition aspect and realize that all of us riding this are way better off than everyone else not exercising and not doing those things.
Yep.
Right.
No matter how much you're riding,
Yeah.
no better than not riding. So,
Yep.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
So
And I
now,
think-
go ahead.
No, I want to talk about Sully because I think one of my earliest memories is Sully, like winning a
That's
D
It's a familiar theme with this group too.
D
Our earliest
competition.
memories are Sully.
Didn't we like get him an award or something for winning a D race? He won one of the first D series.
We were,
Oh,
I think my first series was Team Celebration Series.
Okay.
So one of my most vivid memories are watching you broadcasting
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
the afternoon races. But yeah, I started in Team Celebration Series, and there was this like one guy from Cryogen that like in the middle of the race would just drop like 1,000 watts, and then he would just ride off by himself.
Well, now that's you at the end of C races, right?
Yeah, but I wait until the last
200
Yeah,
meters.
second. Yeah,
I do want to quickly. You have to tell me about yesterday because I saw you won a race by like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
so we have Laura Perry on our team, who is
Okay.
just the dynamo. Like she's won
She's-
2 of the races like solo for a lap.
Now, she used to ride with Wahoo Lacole in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works, but she does. She had her own team for a while. Anyway, so
Okay.
Laura went off the front yesterday, and it was pretty flat and that downhill. So 2 guys bridged to her. So she started sitting on, and we just one of the guys from the other dirt team like went early before the turn, and so I just went from 400 meters, and nobody went with me. But I caught the breakaway. I caught the break on the sprint and went by them.
Yeah.
And
Like a rocket.
nobody else caught the break.
That's unbelievable.
But it's all that triathlon training killed my fitness, and now it's like starting to come back. Because I know what Drew really wants to talk about is triathlon.
It has been also a thing, but I can't talk this morning. Sorry. A theme for the summer for a lot of people is triathlons.
Yeah.
I think 3 of the 5 people in this little group here have done one.
Yep.
Spoiler alert: it's not Greg or I.
Only one of us won, though. I won't speak for
Multiple
Drew,
times.
but I just survived.
Yep. Floated the swim. Did what I had to do on the bike and survived the run.
So you've gotten back into triathlons, I see.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been really fun. This whole summer, I probably did maybe 8 or 9 triathlons from
Wow.
sprint to half Ironman.
I did not realize it was that many.
Yeah, I did a lot of sprints because sprints are so easy.
Yeah.
And,
Bite your tongue.
Go on.
Sully and I are talking about surviving sprints.
well, you don't have
So
to
run-
take
the
you don't
running
take
and-
a rest week after a sprint.
The
trial.
running and the biking are easy.
the best for me is swimming. Actually, I don't know. Just compared to other triathletes, I'm a way better swimmer.
Yeah.
I believe it.
When you post your swim workouts on Discord, it's like, I'm looking at my 245 per 100, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Sully and I
Yeah.
are reading 115, 120 from Cerny. What? How?
That's why he's winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I live on the beach, so we have ocean swims, like
Yep.
Yeah.
huge groups of 30 plus people in the ocean
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
almost every day in the summer, and we have big swim teams that we swim in the mornings. So it's like having the dirt team in real life in a pool. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
that's awesome.
And
Didn't you recently join like a master's team or something?
Yeah, exactly. I joined a
That's it.
master swim team. I know I have to socialize in real life, and I've like forgotten what that's like. So I'm just getting my socialization skills back.
And you did a unique race with another fellow dirt this summer, right?
Yeah, Craig and I did the the swim run together.
Yeah.
It was great. I listened to what he said, and it was funny, like actually being there and listening to his perspective of us racing together. But I had a great time. I love Craig. I hope we can do it again. We were so similar, our abilities. I think we had a great time. We built it up so much in our heads, and it let us down a little bit. But just because like we fantasized about this awesome thing, we were like, that's it, we're done.
Now here you've been trying to talk Drew into some races.
Oh yeah.
Drew and I are doing a triathlon next year. We keep missing each other. Like we're so close. He does this race and I do the other race. We're gonna do one together.
We're coming. We so Cerny did the New York City Triathlon, and I was like, okay, I think that one fell like on my daughter's birthday weekend or something. So, okay, well I can't do that one. And then the Point Pleasant one, I guess you couldn't make it, and then ultimately I couldn't make it. The Tough Man a couple weeks ago up by me, I couldn't make it. So I was like, 2 ships passing in the night. Just all these events that we're trying to get on the calendar. But we'll get it next year.
That was one of the other descriptor terms I was going to use in my intro for you was untethered, but I forgot it. Again, it's early here.
So that next year, my goal is to figure out this half Ironman. Like I feel like I've mastered a sprint triathlon. I just can't figure out these long distances.
Because you're too fast? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I just break down. It's too long. I can't figure out nutrition. Because we're used to riding at 5 a.m. We don't need any nutrition. We just kind of ride fast it forever.
Yep. Good for 2 hours.
I was going to say, and for less than 3 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
This year, who is it? Craig is doing 70.3 worlds, right?
Yeah, Craig is phenomenal.
And then we got
Jeff's in Kona right now.
Yep.
Oh man.
Are they going to broadcast that? I really would like to watch
I think YouTube.
him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, Jeff, for your stream, you need somebody to follow you around, like with the drone.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if somebody was following around with a green screen and he was like a forward camera of his view behind him to make it look like he's actually running when he's actually running? So meta.
And there's another guy. Do you guys know Alex Fuller? He rode with Eat Dirt, I think, one season.
Oh.
He was a high A.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, Brasta definitely knows him, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was on the A team. And then there's another guy from Riding Dirty at Kona also. So my tracker app has like a huge list of guys.
Who's riding dirty? Who's from
His
that?
name's Adam Upshaw.
Oh yeah, Upshaw.
Upshaw.
Yeah.
Yep. I know Upshaw. Yeah, he's going to Kona too. Isn't he with Jeff?
Yeah.
So, yep. They both did.
That's awesome.
Tremblant together. That's awesome.
That's such a crazy experience to do. It's like, do they bill it as the hardest Ironman or just it's like the championship?
It's the original.
Is it?
Yeah. The original triathlon was like the distances are based around like they were in Hawaii and they were like, okay, we're gonna swim from here to here, then ride our bike from here to here, and then run a marathon.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Learn something new every day.
I remember hearing something. I think maybe I talked about here. The early triathlons, they didn't get the order correct, so they actually started with a run and finished with a swim. They're like, oh, it'd be a nice way for people to like cool off or whatever. People started drowning, and they're like, let's put the swim at the beginning,
Whoops.
and make sure people don't die while they're swimming. So, here where I had heard that.
I mean, as a non-swimmer, I always know the rescue float, right? Can't you just flip over and ride on the back?
That was this summer's experience. Once I saw that the race I was doing was wetsuit, not just legal, but recommended. I remember it was like Craig and Tiago and all those guys were like, are you nuts?
Get a wetsuit.
Get a wetsuit immediately. Start training in it. Okay. First swim with the wetsuit, I was like, I'm barely even working.
We don't have wetsuit legal swims in Florida.
No.
Oh yeah. True.
Just swimming in a bathtub. Nice and warm.
All the time, yeah.
All the time.
We should recognize the effort that Sully has made to get here. He has gone through a hurricane in the last week. So thank you, Sully, for being here. We're glad you're okay.
Yeah, thankfully it missed us pretty well. We just had a bunch of yard work, but I know we have some dirt guys down in Southwest Florida that still without power and water. And
I don't know if you can quantify, like, what was it, 20 miles south of you?
I don't know exactly.
That's a clean miss in Florida, Doc.
It's a clean miss? Okay.
It was,
if you say so.
I mean, you don't miss the whole storm, but
I was going to say, you missed the eye, right?
As long as for us, we're so close to the water, it's the storm surge. So,
Yeah.
But it was more like 70 or 90 miles that the eye hit.
Oh, is it?
Us. Yeah.
Wow. As we've all known, geography is not one of my strong suits. That's why I don't play Worldle. Yeah.
That one kind of fell off for us as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not on that one anymore? Look,
Not so
2
much.
months go by and you guys you're like, what are you on now? What's the crack cocaine?
Really just Wordle and Waffle. Those are the
What's
two.
Waffle?
Waffle.
My work got busy again, and I haven't done any of them in a while.
See, Cerny's also confused by Waffle.
Yeah, I don't know Waffle. I
Me and
never heard of
Cerny are like, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, Waffle
Cerny brought
is the best
Wordle.
one.
Cerny brought Wordle to dirt.
Yeah.
Let's put that. Hang on, let me write that down on his achievements.
Did he also bring counting?
Counting.
So,
Oh, man.
I'm always surprised
like-
when people are still counting.
Yes.
Yeah.
is it still going?
I had
think
one
so.
channel muted, and that's it.
It popped the other day, like on the main Dirt server.
Oh, no.
Oh, main dirt.
You know, you know how we have the achievements of Tiago that are like legendary, that are mostly myth, but could be true. That's like Sterny's number one. He was number one in the counting channel.
Way back.
Way back.
So can I show you guys my my Zwift room?
Yes.
Yeah.
of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna walk.
Well, you're going to walk. We're going to stay on our bikes.
This is where the magic
So,
is.
I see
My
ceiling
wife
tiles and a
Zwift.
printer, so
We're in the basement.
we're in the basement.
We're in the basement. My wife's Zwift's next to me, but she just left. She didn't want to be on the camera. So this is our Zwift room. You can see there's a treadmill
Nice.
there. And there's 3 bikes and another treadmill.
What?
Now,
So
why
this-
are there 3 bikes?
So there's
One of them's
a
a tri-bike.
so my wife gets to be sandwiched in the middle, and one is a tri bike and one is a road bike.
So
Dang.
you change
Commitment.
bikes?
His and her treadmills.
His and her.
And there's a TV right here that has Zwift on it.
Yep.
So you can
Nice.
actually-
There you go.
So,
That's awesome.
so when you race Zwift, you do it from the tri-bike?
Well, if I'm like training for a triathlon, I'll ride the tri bike.
Okay.
And if I'm doing like a longer ride, I'll ride on the road bike.
All right.
It's just there's no rhyme or reason. They're both the
It's just
same.
whatever you feel like doing that day.
Yeah. Basically,
That's awesome.
it's a new. The tri bike is a brand new addition.
Did it take 17 days to get it? I heard that's the going time frame for orders.
No, it's not a new bike. It's just like a new setup.
Oh, it's a new setup.
Yeah, the bike is from like 2011 or something. It's an old bike.
Old, reliable,
awesome.
right?
Trainers are a dime a dozen these days. So,
Yeah. Are you guys
Might as
all in
well.
the basement?
oh yeah.
No basements in
I'm
Florida.
basement.
Oh, no basement spot.
No
You can
basements,
see
no
Drew-
wetsuits.
Drew's actually in a dungeon.
Yeah.
You can see the pipes and
Yeah,
And the emergency fire
Paraphernalia.
sprinkler.
The boiler right behind me.
kind of looks like Greg's in a
Franklin
garage.
would not be happy.
No,
he's got some
my furnace
piping.
is right back here.
Okay.
And then
He's got
that's
bananas next to him now.
the evolving shelves. Yep.
It is low-hanging fruit.
What's the count? How many you got?
6.
Oh, early
Ooh.
on in the week. All right.
Gonna say.
He does his grocery shopping on like Sunday.
Okay.
I don't know
I,
that for
I
sure.
used to be like,
No,
but
Sunday's
in-
good.
like between
Sunday's
a couch and some cabinets, like just sandwiched in somewhere. And then I got my wife a Peloton, so we got like a whole room.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Is it on the first
Hey, I'm
floor
gonna-
or the second
I'm
floor?
going to try something here, okay? I'm going to record some
Camera
video from my phone and then edit it in.
Okay.
So I'll show you
Ooh.
mine.
We're
So
getting
you'll have to watch it.
fancy.
I was gonna say that was gonna make all of us feel real bad about our rooms right now.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know. He's got a
There's-
shower curtain behind him.
Yeah, well, it's not a shower curtain. It's an actual curtain. There's you guys on the TV. I have a treadmill next to me. There's the Zwift screen, and then I'll flip it around. Okay. It's a curtain.
Shower curtain.
That's a curtain, not a shower curtain. It's just a white curtain. That
It's the
Does
lights.
Doc still
Has some-
go on Discord in silence? Because that's what he used
No,
to.
No,
he does. Yeah. Now he's got the voice of Batman.
no, look at that microphone.
He used to join us, and he used
I
to
love.
not
Hang on.
talk.
Let's comment on Sully's no. Like he's disappointed that I'm not silent anymore.
No, I
Yeah,
was
I did.
saying, look at that mic.
Oh,
Let's
this
turn to
thing?
talk. You keep interrupting the dirt pop.
I'm sorry.
I got nothing to say.
I'll
We
kiss the
haven't all
ring.
talked in a while, so
It's been a while.
Yes.
Yeah, I did used to play mime, which was
Those
also
are-
fun.
Those are classic though, because in the middle of a TTT, you'd never quite be sure what Dodd was actually trying to say. Greg was always pretty
Oh.
good at it,
It was
but
horribly typed. Yeah. It was like Schmergen. Like, I think Dodge
Greg
taking a
really-
poll.
yeah, Greg would translate. So they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I get on like the social channel on Mondays with Cerny and CC and whoever else
Yeah.
would be in there, and I would not be able to talk, so I'd like pantomime on camera, and they'd try and guess it. I think that was one of the first interactions that Cerny and I had.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember
So-
me, you, and Cece, and
Yeah.
we were just silent. We were just
Just waving.
interpreting what you were saying.
And they were like asking me questions, and then they both like look on, just completely captivated by trying to figure out what I was saying.
some charades.
And then I
Starting,
started
what's,
talking, and they're like, "Oh, it's less
what's
entertaining."
what surprised you most about Zwift or starting dirt? Like, what's been the most surprising part of the process?
Oh, man. That's actually a hard question. The most surprising, I guess, like the fulfillment it's given me.
Yeah,
Also, like the emotional journey I've gone on, meeting all these people, all from really strange people to really normal people. I've met some really weird people. You guys,
yes, you did.
Present company included. Uh-huh.
No, we like Cerny's been on some calls with some people. We
Yeah.
won't name names.
Like just
After
like
the
all
cast.
walks of life. I probably met. I was thinking like 150 dirt people.
Jeez.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And yet, it's a small percentage of the 6,000+ that are out
I
there.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
and a lot have come and gone. Like people come and go all the time. It's rare that the five of us are still here all these years later.
Yeah,
Yep. But it must have been
Yeah.
cool though, like as you kind of progressed to see more and more people with the dirt tag in
Yeah.
Zwift. Like I know for me, like kind of my story kind of followed Dodd where I started Zwifting. I started seeing dirt, started herds or whatever. I was like, what is all of this? What? So I kind of figured it was teams because, from video games, I was like, oh, it's like a gamer clan tag kind of thing, whatever. And dirt was just that one that, kind of resonated because I was a new father. I was like, all right, let's see what this is about. I started riding with the name, with the tag on my name, despite not even being associated with dirt. And then I was like, how do I get the jersey? Like, what the hell?
Yep.
So then I was like, oh, there's a Discord server. Okay. Join the Discord server. Oh, there's a spreadsheet. Okay.
Yeah,
We followed the steps. So I was like, all right.
Cerny,
I was
how do you-
Yeah,
excited.
that's gotta be kind
ahead,
of cool
Doc.
to see that happen. Just
you
the
know what's
number
cool?
of people coming with the tag.
So when you get a kit, you send me a confirmation email.
Yep.
And the coolest thing is seeing all these people's signatures in the confirmation email. So this past week was the coolest. I've gotten 7,000 confirmation emails. This past week, I got a confirmation email from a Supreme Court justice,
Whoa.
a Chief Justice in the state Supreme Court,
That's awesome.
which was
Okay.
I've gotten. There's so many doctors and lawyers and PhDs.
dime a dozen. Yeah,
Yeah, but the Chief Justice of a state Supreme Court was the first showstopper. I was like, whoa.
That's awesome.
I think that's the thing that surprised me the most was the relationships. Like the fitness makes sense, but like that, the meetups and the, just people like chatting every single day, like constantly. And
oh yeah,
I think people like hunger for friendships and kind of the absence of that in our culture. Like I think is pretty amazing.
I was gonna pigtail off that and say that was exactly what I was thinking, because if you'd have told me 2 years ago, I'd be like discording with you three pretty much daily.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, I'm not really that into internet friendships, but like our friendships are real.
That was the first time that I had to explain to my wife that I was going to meet up with a man I met on the internet. Pretty sure it was Chris Mazzini, Chris MC. I was like, yeah, so honey, met this guy through this group called Dirt. He lives not far from here. We're gonna go for a real life ride at 5:30 in the morning. She was like, I don't know.
Have you guys all met in real life?
We haven't been in real life with Drew, but Greg and Sully and I have ridden together in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a podcast about that.
We're getting Drew in it. Drew's got to be in person the next time we meet up.
Yes.
Cerny, how do you explain this to people? So like when you explain Zwift and Dirt to people, like...
Well, I have this bad habit of saying it's like Peloton, but for people,
That's who's
all
perpetrating
people
that.
know. I know. I used to also say it's like esports, but
I always try to describe it as Guitar Hero. It's like Guitar Hero, except it's actually your bike.
Right.
And you're actually riding the bike.
yeah. I also
how do you
say
explain Dirt to people?
I say it's like Grand Theft Auto, but you have a bunch of guys that do it together, and we're on bikes completing missions. And
GTA.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't have a good reason. I just say it's like a virtual club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Craziest thing though is then like really what happened with Jay Brune and Jerry Hernandez. Like it could actually turn into a profitable side gig.
Wow.
Yeah.
Profitable.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Jay Vine is
Money on it.
the biggest case. You guys know Jay Vine?
Yeah.
I don't think I know.
He won
Love him.
stages in the Volta this year.
Yeah. I mean, that's the wildest story.
It happens. It's crazy.
Well, we got, Perk is now a sponsor of our weekly TTTs, and that's our buddy Alan Fisher, who's been
That's
on the podcast.
awesome. I have to meet him in real life because I know exactly where he lives.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to meet him this summer.
Oh,
Him
how
and
was
Jay and Alan Roper.
that? Oh, that's cool.
We were passing through Georgia, so...
I love the,
So
the
what's your
congregation
count,
of people
How
on
many
the
people have
West
you met?
Coast. Oh, he's met a ton. Yeah, tell him how many you've met.
Sally?
Who? I
Yeah.
don't know. I lost count, but the first one, he'll like to hear this. My first was Graham Partain.
Oh, okay. So Graham has met more than anyone by
I think
far.
so.
Graham is number one.
100%.
Did I tell you how I met Graham?
Did you hop a fence? Please say yes. Please say yes. Please say yes.
No, so I was in Disney World, and Graham was like, "Oh, my dad runs Disney World," and so Graham came to Disney World and took my wife and my whole family like on this backstage VIP thing through Disney World.
This is not
Yeah,
a
so
story
much
ever.
about Graham.
I don't know that Graham wants that out there, but it's out there.
No. Graham's cool. Graham's cool. Graham's dad was like he ran one of the parks, and he's like
Yeah.
his
Awesome.
photo is in the park. There's like a huge wall about him.
Oh,
That's
man.
so cool.
He's
Wow.
since retired, and this was like 2 weeks before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
So it was the coolest Disney World experience I ever had.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Did you eat any raisins on that trip? That's an unrelated question, but
No,
Graham,
know
Graham
the
hates raisins.
I know the backstory of the Graham reason.
Yeah.
Cerny, so what do you think's next for Dirt, for Zwift? Are we just on the ride, or is there a master plan, or what do we think?
There used to be a master plan 3 years ago, but since then the master plan has completely scrapped, and now we're just in it for fun for the
Yeah.
ride.
Yep.
The master plan was like grow it, make money, make this my life, my business. I would say in 2019, I got rid of all that and realized it's not about any of that. It's just about us doing it for fun and keeping the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Good
As
timing.
you remember, we used to do like the broadcasting and the merch and the studio. And then, it was all so much. And I realized this is not what it's about. I was losing, I guess, like the purity of it. So I've kind of like tried to step off the gas and just have fun. We're just here to have fun. There's no ulterior motive at all.
Nice.
I actually used that line yesterday. Somebody was apologizing for, not putting in for whatever on the race yesterday. I was like, no, it's like we're here to run or to ride together and have fun. Like the race is a challenge and we rise to it. But if we don't do it, it's okay. We'll come back next week. Do it again.
Yeah. So, and it's hard to be sustainable about this. We're trying to do this long term.
Yeah.
So in order for us to be fit, be good dads for a long term,
the true value of Discord, right, is having that wealth of knowledge available to you. You type a question into the Discord chat and have how many people answer it and have a actual educated response that I would much rather read than anything I can Google. So
you mean experts in their field? That's what you're looking for. That's the term.
Experts in their field. And Steve and Greg.
It's just,
Greg,
with the
Greg,
triathlon training.
You're here for all our legal hot takes, bro.
I was talking to other Greg.
Oh. He's there for our training hot takes.
And baseball and monetary policy. And
the list grows.
Cerny, I think that's one of the things that's cool is that, now with ZRL and all of that, like you can, the hard part was always getting people connected because it's like one thing to be on the server, but like once you have a team and there's something to talk about, like it kind of gives people that pathway, which used to only be TTT, which is even like why we like ran our team the way that we did. So there would always be room for people, so it'd be like when you had one team, it was like, well, there's no room. But like when we just kept saying yes, then it's like, well, hey, like, yeah, there's a spot. And if there's not this week, there will be next week, But yeah, I love that. Like just the way the game has evolved with ZRL and all that, like there's just natural places to get people connected. And I think that makes them stay longer.
Yeah.
Did we lose Cerny?
I think so.
Oh, no.
And on that note, I got to go get everybody ready for school. So
we'll split it into two parts. I'll end it here and then we'll restart.
All right, boys.
See you, Sully.
See you, Sully.
Okay, bye, Sully. Bye, Sully. See ya. See you Tuesday.
That's right.
I got a quick question. How many Discord servers do you belong to or have you belonged to?
Oh, God.
Dirt adjacent.
Probably 15.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds right.
Follow-up question. How many of those teams have you ridden with?
Ooh. I've probably ridden with all of them.
I was going to say.
So I've done a TTT. That's what I do on Thursdays. I try to ride with every single different team, different weeks.
Yeah. You make your rounds.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the one thing I can do to kind of, I don't know, make sure to let everyone know I care about all of them.
You're keeping your finger on the pulse, right?
I don't know. It's just for fun. Like we said earlier, you just got to keep it fun and fresh.
Sure. Oh, we've been branching out into zone 5 with some of us. Some of us do 2 in a row. Some of us just sleep in. But I've gotten to see the team building start from the beginning recently. It's kind of nice.
Now there's a TTT basically every hour of the day.
Yeah, right.
You can
almost
pick your
every minute
time.
you want to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't know, if you're not with a team, but you're in the dirt servers, you could just message and somebody be like, yeah, we got a spot. Hop in.
What is
kinda nice.
what is your opinion of the growth of Eat Dirt? Because I think the growth of Eat Dirt has been the most profound.
I think, speaking from personal experience, I think having that nurturing environment where I don't claim to be an elite athlete at all, right? I'm like some schmuck who got on a bike and decided to start pedaling one day. But everybody's kind of has their strengths and weaknesses, and I think overall is supportive and encouraging to one another. And I think that's something that we lack in society today. I don't think there's a lot of people that put in the effort to say, "Hey, man, good job,"
Yeah.
So for me, that's what it was. And I think that grows exponentially. You tell one person, they tell two more.
Yeah.
It's just such a wheelhouse of a time. It's the zones that we ride in are that 5 o'clock in the morning window where so many people who have to get to work and stuff find it convenient to jump on. So
I'll agree with Todd. It's the combination of never saying no and always saying yes when someone wants to ride, like finding a space, getting people in. And it's so easy to promote and maintain because it's so genuinely fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's really easy for me to recommend it to people that I meet in real life and say, hey, this is like, if not the most fun, very close to the most fun TTTs that you can have during a week.
I was going to say the most fun you can have at 4 a.m.
Sure.
But I don't know. College may argue with me on that one.
Right. But it's just like, it's consistent. I know I'm going to wake up, try hard, have fun, and then BS with my, pretend friends who became my real friends every single week. It's like a touchstone.
Well, to speak to that, like the pretend friends became your real friend. And I'm sure, Cerny, you probably have like a core group that you talk to regularly, but like, we're all invested in each other's family. Like, we tell each other when stuff's going wrong or when things are rough.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not just about cycling. It's about, kind of holding each other up.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what the vibe we wanted to create. It's just positivity, low key, just support for the dads.
Right.
keep the competition there and support each other.
It's hard out there for a gangster,
I think it's, speaking of Cerny on Discord, rule number 1, don't tag Cerny. And as soon as somebody says it, inevitably like 5 people go into, oh, you mean like this? Oh, don't do this.
It's don't tag Cerny and don't scroll up. Those are the two main.
That's it.
Rule 1, rule 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Best was Cerny messaged me, I guess, over the spring when Miller and I were going back and forth with competitions on TTT. And Cerny goes, don't tell him, but keep a spot for me on the team this week.
I had a feeling that was something to be had there, yeah.
I was like, gotcha. So,
yeah, that was funny. That was a fun couple of weeks where we were scheming against Miller.
Yeah.
He thought I was on his side when I was, when we were going to ride together and like whoop his ass.
Yeah. He was like, all right, fine, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, that's fine. We ended up beating him by like 4. He goes, what the hell? You had Cerny. He's looking at the results. And we're like, yep. All right. I don't know where he came from. That was a good time.
So when you started, Cerny, were you like a C? Did you pop out a B? What?
Yeah, I was a C. We were crushing the KISS C races.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was probably like a 2.8 was my FTP when I started. And now I'm like 3.999.
Drew's was there from C to B. He was at 3.19999.
Yep.
We called him DeWalt for a while.
So working my way back there now.
Drew's again to C.
Back to 3.2 something.
Oh, wow.
Loose.
I feel like we all fluctuate, and then we find kind of our sweet spot.
Yeah.
Where-
Yeah.
I think I found my sweet spot, and it's a low B.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much my sweet spot there, which is, it's all right.
With a bit of a sprint.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, did you do any of the dirt racing series stuff, Cerny?
I didn't this summer just because of the triathlon training, but I want to.
So that is, they split into half cats, and that is
Yeah.
completely game changing when it comes to how enjoyable it is for you.
Yeah.
Because there are guys who are probably could be a low A, who mind their watts and stay in the B range, who ride in ZRL and just crush it, and good for them.
Those guys are the worst. I hate them.
I wasn't pointing fingers.
I mean, fuck all those guys.
When you point a finger, there's 4 that are pointing back, 3 that are pointing back at you. Can't count. But to have a little bit of a respite on the climbs and stuff is nice. For you,
Yes,
it'd be the same because you'll be competing in B+. But
That's been my one criticism. Just give us more categories. That would solve everything. More categories. Even A, like why are 4 watt per kilogram riders riding with 6? That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big difference.
you got Eric Min's number, right? Maybe you just text him, and be like, "Hey, buddy, what do you think about this?"
So Eric Min has called me, I think, 3 times, and all 3 of those times I'm in so much trouble. He does not contact you if you're doing good, if you're doing bad. All
Really?
3 of those times, it's like you're fucked. Yes.
Is your lawyer going to allow you to tell us maybe the context of one of them?
So one time someone threatened to sue Zwift because the dirt name was sexist for dads. So
Okay.
so that's when he called me the first time. The second time,
The
there
birth
was
of Mert then, or
that's Mert and all that. I don't know. It was just like he got a strongly worded letter how they're going to sue Zwift because of dirt.
crazy.
And then another time, I don't know if you guys remember, like the poison dart frog guy.
Yeah.
So Eric Min said he's like cheating the game. He called me and he said he's cheating the game, and it was about him and how having him on our team was bad, and you can't do this and all this stuff.
That's wild.
Because we have control over who joins the team,
Yeah,
Right.
who throws the name on.
I'm trying to think. So stuff like that. And then another time was like, harassment about the ride leaders and stuff like that. And I was just like,
What's it, Keith?
no. And so all these times I'm like, I'm a volunteer. I don't care. I don't. Why are you contacting me?
Fine. Then find somebody else to lead the ride.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the guy who rides Friday morning, he leads Friday morning sprint to Palooza. I don't know. I've heard questionable things about that guy.
Exactly.
He's a master of the pun and the tongue-in-cheek joke, I'll tell you that.
That's still one of my favorite rides, though.
Thanks.
Wish I had the lights to do it more often after TTT Thursday, but
I know I have been slacking. I haven't done it in a long time.
it's
I
informative.
signed up for it, and I just
Every week I sign up for it.
I think it's like that ride for me was such a progression because when I started Zwifting, I could barely keep up with the pack after the first sprint,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then towards, I don't know, the end of last year, I was in the top 10 of the sprinters and still riding with it. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's
No,
how
it's a great workout. The interval workout, it's fun, it's engaging, and it's informative. How many ZRL races do you go into and you're like, okay, I know how to attack the sprint. Like,
Oh, 100%. That JWB bridge downhill, I would not race that as well as I do without Sprintapalooza, for sure.
yep,
Yeah.
it's fun.
What do you guys think is the future? Like, do you think it's everyone who wants to be on a team racing is already there? Do you think everyone Zwifting has already done it? Do you think there's still growth, or what do you think is the future of Zwift and dirt?
That's a good question.
I think Zwift as a group is trying to get more social rides involved for some reason. I mean, I've seen the race series are taking off. And I think it was Neil Tucker, who said recently that he's seen a lot fewer crit city races. And I think they're trying to get away from like same old races every week. So maybe they're trying to do more race series and more social rides. Well, the dirt, I think, is just going to keep growing.
When they're doing like different formats for races too, like I know they have like the 3-on-3 knockouts and stuff, which that sounds fun. Yeah, I think
they've done their own monthly series.
You know, I'm a little sheltered in that I spend a lot of my time on the Eat Dirt server, and I know a ton of guys are getting together in real life now that kind of the world is opening back up.
Yep.
And I think that's something that will probably continue, and you know, those internet friendships will convert to real life friendships, and that's always good to see.
Absolutely.
I know we've had Kelso, our buddy Kelso, who unfortunately couldn't make it this morning. He has a baby that was crying in the middle of the night. He just brought in one of his buddies that he works with to the fold to kind of get his feet wet. So I think the word of the mouth thing is a big part of it for sure.
I brought 2 people into the fold, and neither one of them ride with us on TTT yet. Well, Adrian was waiting for his smart trainer. And then Nick Menashe, he's still riding outside for the summer.
Isn't Adrian the one that messaged the Zone 5 yesterday, Greg?
Yes.
Like, I can ride here.
Yeah.
Is he? Oh wait, does he have his trainer and everything?
I think so, yeah. And then he left. He was traveling for a little while. I think he's back now.
So wait, would this be like his first actual ride? And I said, no, I'm going to keep my spot.
Yeah.
You should keep your spot.
Yeah,
it's a twofer, man. Come on.
I know.
Greg and I are doing a double tomorrow.
Double back-to-back zones.
We've done. How many have you done? I've done just one other one.
I've done one.
Yeah. So I think it was the same one. But you rode with a fast team early and a slower team second.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I rode with
the double is great if you go frappe to latte as a B.
I went latte to latte, and it still hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done a double
in-life ride this week?
I got Belgian Waffle coming up on Sunday.
My man is.
That'll be fun.
Cerny, how many TTTs have you done back to back?
Ooh,
I don't think I've ever done a double.
we lost him.
Oh no!
But when they first started, it was only in the afternoons. So one of the first TTTs I did in the afternoon to see what it was about.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I didn't know it was only in the afternoons.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember when that was starting, because I was in the dirt server, but I rarely did anything in there. And then all of a sudden, all these channels got added with stupid names, and I was like, "What is happening right now?"
That's like anybody who gets brought into the Eat Dirt server.
Yeah.
What is happening?
I stumbled into.
What are all these animals? Why is this Dr. Moreau's Island? Cerny, is that your favorite part? Is to see the new team names that come out every season?
Oh yeah, the team names are the best.
Yeah. There's so much creativity in the team names.
Absolute best.
Yeah.
What is your team name this year?
Ours is Burritos. That's
Dirty
Drew's
Burritos.
baby.
Burritos.
Okay. Although we did lose a bet and I had to be B-holes for a week.
The dirty beehole.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I missed it.
I made the bet. We lost the bet. I promptly demoted to C.
He wrote the check and then I had to cash it. Yeah. Sully's back to Dirt and Ernie this year.
That's a classic.
Brought it out of retirement.
Yeah.
Back for domination.
I like Dirt Reynolds.
Yeah.
That's the biggest competition, Dirt Reynolds.
Yep.
There was a whole slew of Burt teams.
Yeah.
That first season that I was on, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Dirt Kreischer.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Angle
great.
Dirt Humperdinck.
Yeah. That one got a shout out from Zero
Dirt
Live,
Bacharach.
right?
Yeah, Dirt Bacharach. Angle Dirt Humperdinck was mine, and everyone's like, "This is too long." So no, it's perfect. It's going to be very funny. Like, only your dad will get that joke. I don't care. No regrets.
You know what you should do, Cerny? Hang on.
I got a boogie. I'm
Bye,
slowing
Greg.
out. All right, go.
I was
Tell
gonna
you.
say,
See you, Greg.
Sterny needs to incognito change the name of Dirt OG next season.
Oh.
Something outrageous, and no one will know they're competing against you.
That's a good idea.
Dirt newbies.
Well, since Greg has to go, I also know that Drew has not watched any Marvel movies for months.
Nope. I've not.
And I want to be respectful to Sterny's time. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I had a great time.
We're going to have you back
Thank
on.
you.
We have to have you back on for sure. Definitely have
Yeah,
some more
time
races.
flew. Yes.
So
Yeah, let's get Cerny in a second time before Steve. Now,
I think
I
Kyle is our new Steve.
oh man, that would be excellent. I did. My segment is ready, but we won't do it. But I do want the banner to flash up because I'm a vain, glorious bastard. It's fantasy football fascinations, where we're gonna run down this week's storylines. Drew and I had an epic matchup. We haven't even talked about it yet, Drew. But
Greg would have beat every other team in the league but me.
for example, how did my two terrible my receivers to your quarterback did amazing? Your quarterback tanked like a champ. How did that happen? How did you still win? And how your defense did so terribly because the Jets won. There's so many storylines here. All right, that's it. I'm done.
We'll have a special segment, just the three of us for that. I'll be the moderator. Go Sports.
Goodbye.
All right.
For everybody else, we will see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, Cerny, be safe out there. Have fun.
Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys.